Manhunt, also known as Hunter vs Speedrunner, is a Minecraft game mode recently popularized by Dream and his friends. Quite a few people are trying it out for themselves, and even pros like Dream still have some room for improvement. So here are some Minecraft Manhunt tips for everybody, even Dream and his friends. I'll put the best tips later in the video, so make sure to watch till the end so you don't miss out. If you're new to this channel and you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. I plan on making more content like this soon, but without further ado, let's get to the tips. We are starting off with a tip for both the Speedrunner and the Hunter. Berries might be an awful food source, but they do have another use here. If you're chased down and need to slow down your opponent, just place them on the ground. It can slow players down significantly and quickly, and can even slightly injure them, although the damage itself is small enough it doesn't really matter. An alternative would be collecting cobwebs with shears, which are definitely more effective than berry bushes, but they are much harder to obtain since you can find berries just on the surface in taiga biomes, and in rather large quantities too, and cobwebs are only findable underground. Only convert a few eyes of ender when searching for the stronghold. And the pearls are incredibly useful items, so don't waste them on extra eye of enders that you won't use. I suggest converting only 3 or so until you find the portal. You can also convert 12, but the portals most of the times actually already have some eyes in them. That way when you're at the portal you know exactly how many you need to convert. The next tip is something most people already know, but I don't see it utilized nearly as much as it should be, and that is axes can break through shields. Especially early game when the only defense the speedrunner has is the shield, this can be super effective. This brings us to the next tip, make the right weapon early game. If you're the speedrunner facing more than one hunter, then definitely go for a sword, but if you're facing only one hunter, or you are the hunter, then definitely craft an axe. While it might be slow, in current PvP system, you don't hit players quickly anyway, and the axe's 9 damage per hit is demolishing, especially when you don't have armor. If 3 hunters can land a single stone axe hit each, the speedrunner will most likely die on the spot. If you're playing in a team, it's great to give your allies information, but do it the right way. Flooding them with useless information like saying for example, he has a crossbow several times when everyone obviously already knows that, will do more harm than good, so keep information to the important stuff. Additionally, when you spot your opponent, instead of saying for example, he's over there, say something more descriptive like he's at the village or he's by the ravine. You can even learn to use the position information from the F3 screen, such as the angle or the direction. Always destroy opponent's gear when you defeat them. This is something I see Dream keep forgetting about, and it's really important. If you just leave the stuff there, the hunters will be back on your tail in no time. If you can, try to get whatever might be useful though, for example combine the armor and tools for extra durability, etc. The next tip is mainly for the speedrunners. You sometimes have to run from hunters by mining through walls going up and down. Jim himself always blocks the entire path behind him, but really it's much better to only block a part of it. Here is why. First of all, by leaving small parts of the tunnel open, the hunters might get lost trying to find you. They won't know if you just went through the tunnel or a few moments ago, or maybe it's even their own tunnel. That's surely a good way to confuse them. Also try to sometimes block your path with cobble, but sometimes with natural blocks such as gravel, diorite, etc. This will make them confused even more. When blocking your path in the nether, it's best to start with netherrack to hide it and then continue with something like for example cobblestone, as it takes longer to mine so it will slow down the hunters, since they will either have to mine it or around it. You can also mix some different blocks sometimes, just gravel and dirt to make them switch tools, netherrack to confuse them and possibly make them lose your path, and so on. Additionally, when digging down, it's best to place a few blocks behind you and then just leave the rest of the drop open. This way the hunter will think you blocked the entire path behind you and start digging, only to fall down and take full damage. You can also place a slab on the top part of a block at the bottom, so that they can't MLG water bucket. If they try to, they will simply waterlog the slab, which will not save them. If you found a looping sword, that's great, but if it's gold, it's gonna run out of durability really quickly. There's a way around this however that will let you not waste gold and not lose any durability on the item. What you have to do is hold the item with the looting enchantment in your main hand and kill the mob with a bow or another projectile that you have in your second hand. This will take the durability only from the secondary item while giving you the looting benefits from the item in your main hand. This one is mainly for the hunters, and it's about sleeping in the nether and the end. It takes advantage of the fact that the hunters can respawn how many times they want, and that beds are quite cheap to make. What you wanna do is essentially bomb the speedrunner. When they are in the nether or the end dimension, simply leave all your opponent's stuff in a chest somewhere close to the portal Get a bed, try to get as close to the speedrunner as possible, and bomb! Beds deal absurd amounts of damage, are cheap and explode instantly, making them an incredible weapon that can literally one-hit people even in netherite armor. TNT isn't nearly as effective as the beds because it's much more expensive and additionally takes more time to actually explode. I also recommend setting up a bed near the portal in the overworld so that if your first attempt doesn't work, you can keep trying. You can also hide near the portal and blow the speedrunner up as they're trying to go through. And last but not least, Dream, why did you kill your poor dog? You could have just let it sit and possibly confuse the hunters. Why so cruel? Subscribe if you enjoyed. I was maildartfrog and hope to see you in another one. Bye!